Self-improvement doesn't stop on weekends, and Donovan Sharpe's got a lineup that will help you in every area of life. Things kick off on Saturday nights at 8:30 Eastern with Crypto Oasis. Learn the ins and outs of cryptocurrency from two of the most knowledgeable experts in the crypto game, Cultivate Crypto and Dollar Cost Crypt. Then on Sunday evening at 6 Eastern, tune in for Weights and Dates with Donovan Sharpe and fitness expert Myron Gaines. This dynamic duo gives guys the cold hard truth about how to navigate today's dating market and how to build and maintain a physique that keeps the ladies coming. Cap off your weekend with the most watched roundtable discussion in this sector of the web, The Seven. While each panelist gives their own unique perspective on men's issues, they all believe in the fundamental principles of self-improvement, conventional masculinity, and what it takes to become the best version of yourself. This weekend lineup gives you everything you need to improve your finances, enhance your physique, and strengthen your mind. So put down the controller, throw away those Cheetos, and take notes. Your path to a better life is only a weekend away.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing.
A woman never belongs to you. It's just your turn. You lost your edge, she lost attraction for you. That's how it works. What'd you think she was gonna do? Tell you she cheated? Men cannot afford to get complacent in relationships. Get your fat ass off the couch, start lifting weights, and learn game. You're welcome.
And now your man,
Donovan Sharpe.
What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe, and welcome to the 716th edition of TSR Primetime, your nightly dose of toxic masculinity. It is Wednesday, February 24th of 2021. It is good to have you guys in this evening. As always, we are streaming live to Facebook, YouTube. Where else? Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Looks like we're also streaming in crystal clear 4K to Sharpe Stream, which is only accessible to my patrons at patreon.com/Donovan Sharpe. Patreon.com/Donovan Sharpe if you want access to the crystal clear high definition stream. Much better quality than YouTube. Much better quality than YouTube. So however you are watching, wherever you're watching from, thank you for making the Sharpe Reality Primetime a part of your nightly routine. As Devin tells me that even though she went to the bathroom, she did not poop. You guys know what my stance is on what I like to call ass paste. If I know, before Devin and I, before we have sex, I always tell her to take a shower. I always tell her to take a shower so that we don't have an ass paste situation. And in case you guys don't know what ass paste is, as I am doing my level best to get this bad boy demonetized as quickly as humanly possible, ass paste is when somebody poops, right? Oh, wait a minute.
I have a boyfriend, but
that's the wrong thing.
My boyfriend and I have been
Sorry about that.
together
Is when somebody poops. Somebody uses the bathroom, and they, throughout the day, they kind of walk around, right? Their butt cheeks rub together. And because there's, I don't want to say, listen, remnants, sweat, I don't know, whatever it is, that friction, what that friction does is it creates a pasty-like substance, right? And if you didn't take a shower since the last time you pooped, that creates what I like to call ass paste. Yes. And so Devin was very clear. She was in the bathroom. And she told me, she's like, hey, I was in the bathroom, and the follow-up text or the follow-up message was, I didn't poop. So good for Dev. She's not going to have to take a second shower this evening before I beat those brakes off for a solid, I don't know, I'm probably good for about a minute. I'm probably good for about a minute 15 tonight. The other night I actually lasted a lot longer than I normally do. I haven't really put much effort into sex lately, guys. I really need to take the time and really work on sex, man. I really do, because, dude, my sausage game has fallen off. Not because I can't do it, but because I don't really care right now. I got some other stuff going on in my head, and got other stuff going on in my head, other stuff going on in my life. I'm planning the move. I got the conference coming up. Womanies Volume 4 drops in 9 short days. I've got a lot going on, and I just don't have time to, put a lot of effort into it, But listen, I don't masturbate, so this is what I have a girlfriend for. I have a girlfriend so that I don't have to masturbate. But all is well. She did not poop. It is good to have you guys in this evening. Let me shout out my Sharpe stream, guys. I have a fantastic show in store for you guys today. Dev, we need to start clearing out the Sharpe stream chat after the shows. You're sleeping on the job. Sleeping on the job there. Dr. Lorenz is in the house. Apollo 137, first to break the tape. Dre Raven is in the house. Phoenix Fats, haven't seen you in here in a while. Dre Raven, Hellfong. JB84, good to see you in here as usual. Apollo 137 on the Sharpe stream side says, we learn game and ass hygiene lessons. Damn right. Listen, man, my girl's got to look and smell. She's got to look good and smell good and all of that for me, man. Like, you think about this, right? When your girl, and listen, I'm going to get into it, but this is very, very important. What you got to understand, man, is that when your girl gets up and goes to work, and I know times are different, what with the 91 Devok and all, most people work from home, but when your girl gets up, normally, when she used to get up and go to work, dude, she'd be looking her best, smelling her best, her hair is all done, got the curls nice and tight, lipstick is all shiny, wearing heels. She looks good, smells good, deodorant on, all that stuff, right? So she goes to work. She probably poops at work, maybe twice. But then when she gets home, now she, listen, the deodorant's probably worn off a little bit. The perfume is definitely worn off. Her hair is now in a bun. Her lipstick is gone because she wiped it off for lunch. And she also has the dreaded ass paste. So now you have now you've got a woman now wearing sneakers. She's probably not even wearing heels at home. She's probably just wearing sneakers, right? Not wearing sneakers. Makeup is gone. Lipstick is gone. Hair's in a bun. Hair's in a bun. Hey, listen, man. Listen. You're not getting your woman's best. You're never, ever, ever getting your woman's best when she gets up and go to work. When she gets up and goes to work. And so yeah, this is why I make sure my girl always looks and smells her best. I make sure that work gets the sloppy seconds when she used to work. And I made sure that I got the number 1 spot. Nick B, 23, says, new here, just want to confirm, is this a private stream and chat? Yes, it is. This is a private stream and chat, not available to the public. The Goddamn Bacon, 223, says, all day fermented butt paste. Real talk. I'm trying to tell you, man. I wouldn't talk about it unless I had experienced it firsthand. And I only had to experience it once. Only once. I was like, nope. Nope. Thrillseeker, $5 says, Donovan, how many pull-ups can you do? Also, what perfume does Devin wear? How many pull-ups can I do? I don't know. It's been a while. Devin wears whatever perfume I tell her to wear. So, there you go. There you go. What does she have in there? She's got some Versace, she's got some Gucci Guilty, and some other stuff. I bought her a bunch of perfume, whatever, for Christmas. Yes, the moral of the story, wash yo ass. Wash your ass. Because I'm going to know. I'm absolutely going to know. The War Report says, I'm on semen retention, demigod levels of focus. Listen, man, I would love to try semen retention, but when you got a live-in girlfriend, it's like, that's very, very difficult. Very, very difficult. I would love to try it. Like, I would legit love to try it. I really, really, really would. Because I've gone, I think the most I've ever gone, the longest post, listen, man, I used to have a spicy movie addiction. And the last time I pleasured myself to spicy movies was back when I was 37 years old. So I've gone almost 6 years without pleasuring myself to spicy movies. After that, I think the longest I'd ever gone without having sex, it was like 3 weeks. I was in a slump, man. And this was at the height of my player powers in Vegas. Listen, man, we all go through slumps. And during that 3 weeks, man, I started to notice that my focus was better. I had higher energy levels. I was sleeping better. Then I got laid the next night. I got laid the next afternoon, actually. And all that went right out the door. All that went right out the door. Tisk, tisk, tisk. You know how that goes. You know how that goes. At any rate, the War Report says, I took your advice and bought Prilogy. Yeah, Prilogy works. Prilogy works, guys. If you are having premature ejaculation problems, Prilogy absolutely works. Prilogy absolutely works. Okay, guys, let us get to tonight's topic. The gift that keeps on giving. I found another post on Reddit that puts true female nature on display as usual. Now, the interesting thing about Reddit in terms of credibility is that all of the posters, they write and they post under the shroud of anonymity. Right? Nobody knows who they are. Nobody knows where they live. Nobody knows what they look like. Nobody knows any of that stuff. And when people know that nobody knows who they are, and yes, Ray and PG, I know it's you because you're the only dude who types in all caps all the time. When nobody knows who you are, people are always extremely honest Extremely, extremely honest. This is why when I find posts like this, my eyes light up because I know yet another woman is laying bare her Jezebel soul for all the world to see. Well, this post that I found is no different. The title of this post is Why Do I Keep Getting Blown Off? Why do I keep getting blown off? Now, it was actually written a couple of weeks ago, but I'm not going to tell you guys who wrote it. And the reason why is because Historical Cow actually sent me an email about an hour and a half ago telling me that some of you guys harassed her after my video breakdown of her post just a few hours ago. So from here on out, I'm not going to give you knuckleheads. Not going to let you knuckleheads know who wrote the post because some of you, quite frankly, you have no self-control. Today, I'm ashamed to be your leader. Guys, seriously, like, come on. Let's, there's no need to go and harass Reddit posters. No need for all of that. Let's just quit with all that. Let's quit with all that. Anyway, it was written a couple of weeks ago. All of that said, I'm still going to talk about stuff like this because Reddit is one of the last places where you can find women being completely honest about their love lives. Now, this post was extremely long. There's actually much, much, much more to it. And if I were to read and break down the whole thing, guys, we'd be here all night, and I ain't got all night, okay? I got a couple of shots of whiskey to drink and about a half a bottle of red wine. And then I got a blonde downstairs with big boobs I got to pound out. So we're going to do a couple of things. First, we're going to take a look at her first paragraph, which is on the screen now, because it quite literally answers her question. Why do I keep getting blown off? Right? Unfortunately, she and women like her have no idea why. After we take a look at this first and second paragraph, the lovely and talented Michaela is going to reenact a condensed version of the post. There's no need reading all of this nonsensical, drivel and fluff this chick goes into. So what we'll do is we'll just talk about the bullet points. Let's talk about the bullet points. So let's take a look at her first paragraph here. The first line says, I'm a 36-year-old female. Let's stop right there. She's 36, which means that she is at the very least 8 years past her prime. Guys, women are always the last to know they've hit the wall. The truth stares them right in the face. Themselves to see the truth. They'd rather remain delusional until the bitter frickin' end. This woman is obviously someone who used to be attractive. She is a, quote, alternative model, and you will find out why here very shortly. Right? Now, listen, she may very well be attractive right now. But at 36, she's just now realizing that she does not have the same sexual allure, the same gravitational pull as she did when she was 26. Men aren't paying her as much attention to her as they used to, and because she's never really felt the pangs of rejection, she is genuinely confused as to why she keeps getting blown off. Well, reason number one is that she is 36 years old. Let's take a look at the very next sentence. Been single for what's closing in on 8 years. Oh boy. Every single one of you who is enrolled in Womanese knows exactly what this means.
I haven't been in a relationship in 2 years. I've been f***ing random guys for 2 years.
Women always assume that if they're not in a relationship, that they're living in a convent somewhere waiting for Jesus Christ himself to show her Mr. Right. In other words, they want us to think they've been completely celibate this whole time. This is never the case. Why? Because women are never not fucking. There's always a in their lives or their one way or another, whether they're in a relationship or not.
This woman has no idea. No idea. And Dev, do me a favor, sweetheart, bring me a Red Bull, if you would. I need a Red Bull. This one has no idea that she is telling people in no uncertain terms that she's been sleeping around for the better part of the last decade. Men who have no idea how to read between the lines or are not proficient in womanese always get the wool pulled over their eyes, right? They always get fooled by women like this. Then when she gets the 7-day itch, rather than the 7-year itch, because you know, the carousel and all, and goes and sleeps with Dave, the unemployed garage band guitar player, who may or may not have a tattoo on his junk that he may or may not have gotten in prison, the clueless loser who committed to her is always in complete shock. He asks himself, she's been single for 8 years. How the hell could she do this to me? Guys, I'm here to tell you, men of value understand that women who are single for extended periods of time are always cucumber connoisseurs. They blow these women off after getting blown and then block their numbers. Let's go a little further down. Yep. Oh, crap. I locked her out. Hang on. All right. Now it's about to get real. I got a Red Bull. Sugar-free Red Bull. Devin actually treated me out to a very nice dinner this evening. Very, very nice dinner. She paid. And later on, I'm going to pay her in penis. But I will have you know that just because she bought me dinner does not oblige me to sleep with her. Just so you guys know, it's not that kind of relationship. Listen, I can close my legs if I want to. Just because she bought me dinner does not mean that I have to sleep with her. So let's go a little further down here. Let's go a little further down. It says, I live by myself, I own a car, and am pretty independent. Now, some of you might think, well, Donovan, what's wrong with that? She has her own spot. She has her own car, right? She can't mooch off me, right? Maybe. But if you are fluent in womanese, then you already know what she gets up to if she lives alone.
I have my own place. I have a lot of guys come over.
Girls who live alone are always epic. Not living with roommates or family members gives them permission to f dozens of guys without having to do the walk of shame in front of her friends or answering to her parents or family members about why she's having coffee with the 5th guy that week. Any girl who lives alone is 675% a period.
I can guarantee you, this chick has probably had a guy she's interested in discover another guy's sock or something else that belongs to him, like a toothbrush or something. And the guys who are clueless will stupidly ask, hey, is this your brother's toothbrush? And she'll say, yeah. Yeah, totally. That's totally my brother's toothbrush. Not realizing it was the guy who took her to the ATM machine and did not need a PIN number, if you can read between the lines. Let's go a little further down. Let's go a little further down here. Where she says, most of my friends are men. Now, you would think the average guy these days would know exactly what this means, but you'd be surprised at how many of them do not. For that reason, I added this translation to womanese.
I don't know why women don't like me. They don't like me because I flirt with their boyfriends.
Women always feign ignorance when it comes to being attention whores. Pretending that they don't understand why girls don't like hanging out with them is another way they do this.
I'm one of the guys.
I'm a slut.
This is how girls get away with hanging out with a bunch of guys without being called a slut. But other women know why they only hang out with guys, and now you do too.
Anyone who commits to a woman with mostly guy friends deserves what he gets. Period. And by the way, Womanese Volume 4, which includes every translation you have seen so far, drops on March the 5th. That's just 9 days away, guys. If you want to be notified the moment it drops, text TSR to 313-313. Again, that is TSR to 313-313. Not so shameless plug there. Don't give a damn. And last but certainly not least, we come to the coup de grace. Oh, you guys are going to love this. What else might be relevant in helping diagnose the situation? I have bright blue hair and numerous tattoos as well as 11 different piercings on my face and body, including 2 in each ear. Let's read that again. I have bright blue hair and numerous tattoos as well as 11 different piercings on my face and body and 2 in each ear. I love how she started the paragraph with, what else might be relevant in helping diagnose the situation, as if to imply that having blue hair, a bunch of tattoos, and 11 piercings is an afterthought. It's almost as though she's characterizing this as some sort of throwaway thing. While I'm thinking about it, and this is probably nothing major, doesn't matter at all, I have blue hair, a bunch of tattoos, and some piercings. The first 3 disqualifications in my free ebook, 16 Ways to Immediately Disqualify Her for a Long-Term Relationship, which you can get at donovansharpe.com/newsletters, are tattoos, piercings, and non-traditionally colored hair. Girls like this always wonder what they are doing wrong when guys don't stick around. They haven't a clue why they keep getting blown off after blowing these guys. Now, she may very well be sexually attractive enough for men to still want to have sex with her. But when men see her tattoos and piercings and her blue hair, high-value men think to themselves, okay, all right, I'll smash her for a little bit. And then I'll cut her loose because it's clear that she doesn't value herself, which means she is 412% an eggplant enthusiast. Men who are worth a damn, gentlemen, simply will not commit to girls with tattoos, piercings, and blue hair. Not going to happen. Despite her best attempt at trying to figure out why she keeps getting blown off after blowing them, it is clear to us in the first couple of paragraphs why this is. So now we are going to bring in the lovely and talented Michaela, pardon me, to reenact Miss, I don't know, we'll call her Miss Blue Hair's Reddit post so we can get to the bottom of what's really happening. Again, this post was ridiculously long. So Michaela's going to react to basically the meat and potatoes without all of the fluff. Before we do that, let me check the chat and super chat. Gregory McGrath with the $10 super chat. I greatly appreciate that. The Barfuki man says, Amy Horton can't stop rearing her thoughty head around the internet. Yeah, right? Let me take a look on the Sharpe stream side. Hellfunk says, surprised she hasn't written for Bold Magazine. Yeah, exactly. Dre Raven wants to know, what the hell is an alternative model? Yeah, nothing else to do, nothing else better to do than to bother internet posters. Yeah, man. Like, dude, like the historical cowgirl was like, OMG, I can't believe you sent your goons. I got to get these glasses loosened because they are really squeezing my head. Woo. Ugh. She's like, OMG, I can't believe you sent your goons over to harass me. Oh, God. Listen, man, you made it public, right? Like, you made the post public. Like, don't look at me. Yes, all of the memes. I'm here for all of the memes. Hellfong says her Navajo name is Bear with Wide Canyon. Yeah, unfortunately used to be bear with tight cave, but you know what happens when you let too many bears into your cave. Nixon Talk says these women all have the same or similar traits. Hey man, hashtag all women are like that. So let us now get to the breakdown where Michaela is going to reenact She's going to reenact basically a condensed version of this particular Reddit post. Here we go.
I'm feeling hopeless. Why? Because I've had a rude awakening. I've gotten rejected so much, I'm questioning everything. I can't even get a date out of a guy. I thought, okay, I'll date to see if there's chemistry. I'm open to different kinds of men, but guys won't follow through. They don't even ask me out. It's legit depressing.
She said she wanted to go out on dates to see if there was any chemistry. Translation, to see if I'm sexually attracted enough to him to have a one-night stand. Let's get one thing straight here, guys. What Blue isn't telling us in this Reddit post is that she's meeting these guys on Tinder. And when a man swipes right for a girl on Tinder, his main objective is to sleep with her as quickly as possible. He ain't looking for a relationship. He's not looking for a friendship. He's not looking for any of that stuff. He's looking for a quick, easy lay, and if he likes having sex with her enough, he might put her on his roster. Where Miss Blue's going wrong at 36 years old is that she's using the "I'm not here to hook up" line. Now, we know that when girls say this, or to somebody on their profile, it means they absolutely are there to hook up. I'm not here to hook up, I'm just here to make friends. No, they're not. No. Nobody is on Tinder or any other dating app to find a spouse. No, everyone is there for the quick, easy sex. Okay? Girls like to do what we call in this community snowflaking, right? They do this to give people the impression that she's not like all of these other loose party girls who are only on here for the D. These girls actually believe that we believe that she's there for a meaningful connection and possibly a relationship. That she's somehow different or special. Now, Miss Blue has probably used this line for years. And in the past, when she was in her 20s, she didn't actually mean she wasn't there to hook up. Again, girls like her use this line so that men don't think she's easy. But now that she's in her mid-30s, she does indeed actually mean that she's not there to hook up. You see, in her 20s, she used to poop test guys to see if they had the balls to see through her good girl facade, run proper game, and be all up in them guts. But now in her 30s, she's saying the exact same thing. But these days, it's not a test. No, it's really what she means. So when dudes with game who are used to closing these promiscuous girls on the first night, when they figure out that Blue isn't kidding, they think, wait a minute, she's serious. She really isn't looking to just hook up. They totally ghost on her, and that's why she's not getting any dates. That's why these guys aren't following through. Listen, man, you can't expect men to treat you like a lady when you've acted like an easy lay for about a decade and a half. Doesn't work that way. Just because you decide you're not going to sleep with anything with a Y chromosome and a pulse who swipes right doesn't mean these dudes are going to go on dates with you. Blue is literally telling these dudes, you're not getting sex tonight, and doing it in such a way that makes it clear that it's not a poop test. No, she's dead serious. And dudes who are looking for easy lays ain't here for that. Then, I don't know if you guys caught this little nugget. Then she said she's open to dating different kinds of men. Can't know unless I try, right? What this means is that white dudes, they're not checking for her anymore. Oh, no. Higher value white dudes are passing her up for younger, tighter versions of her 20-something self. Seeing that her options are becoming more and more limited the older she gets, all of a sudden, she's open-minded and willing to try new things, which means other races of men. See, when she was young and hot, she was only swiping right for white guys, and probably some black guys, but not telling anybody. But now she's taken the route that a lot of white girls who have hit the wall and not getting as much attention from the white guys used to run through her in her 20s, which is what class? Interracial dating. Ooh. Now, some of you might ask, well, how do you know she's on dating apps? Well, simple. When she says can't find a guy to follow through, this means she's been in contact with said guy. You see, if a man approaches a woman in the real world, it's highly unlikely that he will flake because of his initial investment. What's his initial investment? Well, that's overcoming approach anxiety, which most men have, actually approaching her, striking up conversation, swatting away the poop tests, and getting her number. right? And listen, man, and I had a conversation with Kevin Samuels earlier today. We were just talking about how long it's been since we've been out of the game. You don't get girls' numbers anymore. No, you get their Instagram. You don't number close a girl anymore. You got an Instagram closer. This is what Kevin told me. I was like, dude, I had no idea. Listen, you guys know I've been out of the game for a while because I didn't even know that number closing was out. But be that as it may, we've got 800 people watching. Let's hit the like button. If we don't get to at least 400 likes or dislikes, combination of the two, I will stop the show. Anyway, getting a girl's number or getting a girl's Instagram out on the street, that's hard work, guys. It takes effort and it takes intestinal fortitude. If dudes are flaking and ghosting on her, they didn't have much invested in her in the first place, which means what, class? They just swipe right. The less the initial investment is, the more likely it is that someone will flake. Now, this goes for both men and women. Let's continue.
The dating scene is a shit show. If I had known things would be this bad, I would have locked down a man already. I didn't know Tinder would kill old-fashioned romance. I hate this new dating world. I want to destroy all dating apps.
When she says, I didn't know things would deteriorate, she's talking about herself. She doesn't realize she's talking about herself because surely she is every bit as attractive at 36 as she was when she was 26. So the fact that she doesn't have as many options has nothing to do with her deterioration. Oh, no. No, it's the dating market that's deteriorated. Even though the wall comes fast for women and their attraction drops precipitously, like I said earlier, they are always the last to know or acknowledge they've hit the wall. Miss Blue here has no idea that Father Time is now collecting his debt for having given her absolute power over men for the better part of a decade. And she won't figure this out until a guy tells her, I've never dated an older woman before. That's when it's going to hit her like a ton of bricks. That'll be the rude awakening. Now, she said she would have found a good man to lock him down if she'd known things would deteriorate at this level. She's saying that because of the deterioration of the sexual marketplace, that there aren't as many good guys out there. But what she fails to realize is that there aren't as many good guys available to her. And her blindness to her own decline in sexual market value makes her think that there aren't as many good guys around. This statement literally says, where have all the good guys gone? Which is the calling card of a woman who's been passed around for an extended period of time, 8 years to be exact. Whew. Wow. She says that Tinder has diminished old-fashioned romance and that she hates this new dating world, which is kind of funny because she's actually been on Tinder for a while. Guys, I'm here to tell you, women cannot expect good old-fashioned romance if they're on dating apps. Okay? If you want good old-fashioned romance, then delete all of your dating apps and make yourself more approachable. More approachable in the real world. You know, being kind instead of bitchy. Maybe looking men in the eye instead of looking down at your phone, dressing like a feminine woman instead of a 19-year-old computer hacker. Those kinds of things. Pardon me. Girls are always confused as to why men don't approach as much as they used to. The two main reasons are or really three main reasons are, number one, the West has criminalized approaching women in public by making catcalling and striking up conversation really against the law in some areas. Number two, they're not approachable. I just talked about that. And number three, girls are giving away their bodies like it's Halloween candy. And they're doing it online, right? So why would a man risk embarrassment, humiliation, and possible criminal prosecution trying to strike up conversation with girls who look like men and act like they have no interest in men when they can bypass all that nonsense by opening their phones? No, Tinder didn't ruin face-to-face interaction. Women did. Tinder is the digital manifestation of the romantic female transformation. Girls didn't want guys to approach them in public. They don't want to make an effort to look presentable in public, and they don't want to publicly display their interest in men. So Tinder was created to satisfy these objectives, and predictably, women are complaining about it, even though they got what they want. Especially older women that are not getting as much attention. Instead of destroying all dating apps, how about women start acting like women again? Right? That's the only way, really, face-to-face interactions are going to make a comeback. All right, very good. Fitness Philosopher says she's being too intense about the whole thing. I was getting that vibe from her. Yeah, I got to put you in timeout, dude. Like, seriously? You're going to criticize the actress? Like, what are we doing? What is this? What is this? The fucking Academy Awards? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? The hell out of here. I didn't hire her because she's a good actress. I hired her because she's a poor man's Tatiana. Come on, man. Come on. Let's quit with that. Jesus fucking Christ. My God. Everybody's a critic. Everybody's a fucking critic, man. Fitness Philosopher earlier actually had a really good comment. He says, Dave may or may not have a scar from a torn scrotum that may or may not have happened in a sex dungeon. That's funny. That's funny. Oh, that's good. Dev says, that sounds like the type of woman you want to bring home to mom and dad in the middle age. Yeah, that's how it is, man. That's how it is. Live by the sword, die by the sword, says Lorenzo Rock. Absolutely. Guys, we are at 876 people watching. And I only have a total of I've got a total of 335 likes and dislikes. If you want to hit the thumbs down, I'm not mad at you. But guys, I am not going to continue this podcast. I'm not going to continue this podcast until I get a combination. What's 869? What's 870 divided by 2? Until I get a combination of 400. Boy, that number keeps going. Look, people are dropping off now. Fuck you, Donovan. If you're going to whore out for likes, I'm leaving. Fine. Bye. See ya. I need a combination of 425 likes and dislikes. Okay? You guys right now are 77 away. Let's do it. Oops, 435. Well, no, see, it was 425 because it's 853 watching now. 850. I'm not that bad at math. All right, we hit it. We hit it. Like or dislike. Like or dislike. Oh, we got a few new dislikes. Very good. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Paul Godin says, you're putting up cash for Emmy Award caliber actresses? No, I'm putting up cash for young hot females, Paul. This is how the world works, my friend. This is how the world works. Beauty is not free. Beauty is not free for men or women. I'm not going to hire an unattractive model to do these videos. Why would I? Nixon Talk says, every time you give Donovan a like, a thought gets rejected. I like the sound of that. 810 people watching. We are well over 50% engagement. So let us now continue with the breakdown now that you guys are acting right. And continue on.
Guys have so many options, they don't even try anymore. It's like they have this menu in front of them. If they try me and don't like me, they're gone. There's no effort at all. They totally blow me off without even thinking. I'm not even human. I'm just another face on the screen.
Oh, how the tide has turned on Miss Blue. You see, guys, what the lovely and talented Michaela is describing via Miss Blue's post is the inverse of what she experienced in her 20s. You see, in her 20s, she sat there with a huge menu of men in front of her. Right? In her 20s, she was so overwhelmed that she couldn't decide what to eat or, in other words, who to sleep with. If the men she tried out were not immediately to her liking, she moved on easily. In her 20s, she didn't have to make any effort. And she blew off countless men. She didn't think of men as human beings. They were just another face on the screen. You know, it's funny when women complain that men play the game better than they do, right? A woman will lie to men. She'll cheat on boyfriends. She'll use men. They'll use men they have no sexual interest in for free dinners. They'll divorce their husbands. But as soon as one man, all the guys, she screwed over 67 guys. One guy plays the game better than she does. Men are dogs. Men ain't shit. There are articles talking about girls who use men for free meals by misleading them about their sexual interest in them. Everybody praises these women for this brilliant plan. But as soon as we get a guy like the Dine and Dash dater, now it's a problem. He gets jail time and national ridicule while the women get a pat on the back. Women absolutely hate it when they do not have a decided advantage on the dating market. They hate that. And there are only two things that really put them at a disadvantage. A, they run up on the dude who plays the game better than they do, and B, they get old. And that is where Miss Blue finds herself now. What she did with men in her 20s, or what she did to men in her 20s, is exactly what is being done to her now, and she doesn't like it. She doesn't like it. Then she wants to whine and cry, oh, I'm just another face on the screen. Yeah, cry me a river, ho.
Guys tell me I'm too much work. I'm not some accommodating robot, but because I have needs, I'm too much trouble. Whatever, asshole. Find a girl that has no standards. I refuse to let go of my standards, but all this rejection is messing with my head.
You know, it's funny. It's funny when women describe their neuroticism and unrealistic expectations as needs and feelings. As Fitness Philosopher says, I thought this was a real vlogger, not an actress portrayal. This is why you got to watch from the beginning, playa. Got to watch from the beginning. Anyway, girls are so impossible to deal with these days. It's no wonder dudes are only using them for bedroom fun. Like, seriously, the less time you spend with a girl, the less of a headache she can be. But here's Miss Blue's real problem. Here's Miss Blue's problem. When she says, I'm too much trouble to bother with, she has no idea that it means she's simply not worth dealing with anymore. You see, young and pretty girls, like the lovely and talented Michaela, they get a lot more leeway in the way of dating because they're what class? Young and pretty. It is a cost-benefit analysis. A female's youth and beauty make dealing with her nonsense a little more worth it. It's just like sports. Just like sports. Right? The more talented player X is, the more shenanigans Team Y will put up with. Antonio Brown, Odell Beckham Jr., T.O., those guys come to my mind immediately. Right? These guys are constant distractions in the locker room. Odell Beckham, not so much lately. But he's been there before. But because of their talent and their production on the field, teams deal with it. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers were rolling along. They still brought in Antonio Brown. They lost 3 straight games after that. Now, they didn't lose a game since all the way to the Super Bowl, but the point is Antonio Brown is still talented enough for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Tom frickin' Brady to look past all his stuff to get him on the field. T.O., Terrell Owens, he was also in that camp. He was the distraction in San Francisco. He blew up the locker room here in Philly and did the same thing in Dallas. But when his skills diminished, couldn't get a contract. Guys, Miss Blue here, she is the equivalent of T.O. Okay? Guys used to deal with her nonsense because she was young and hot. But now that she's in her 30s, dudes aren't trying to deal with that anymore. But instead of saying, I'm too old to put up with, she's saying, I'm too much trouble to bother with. As if to imply that men are the issue and not her diminishing beauty. Then, oh, this is funny. Then she complains that there are girls who don't require anything of them. This again is a woman who expects men to cater to her for no other reason but that she's a woman, and is surprised that there are other women who understand that at their advanced age, beggars can't be choosers. These are the musings of a female who is grossly overestimating her own sexual market value. The fact that she indirectly says she requires things from men is laughable. What exactly are you requiring? What, you want men to open doors for you? You want men to be a gentleman and treat you like a lady? Sweetie, you're 36. Get out of here with that. You had your chance to dictate what you wanted out of men in your 20s. But because your sexual currency is now next to nothing, you want to complain that other women your age have figured out that they're in no position to make requirements of men? Then she says, of course, she's refusing to let go of her standards, and that's her problem. As a post-wall female who's been rode hard and put away wet, you don't get to have standards anymore. You will take what you can get, Miss Blue, and you'll like it because your options are limited, and that is what's really fucking with your head.
I demand to be treated like a lady. So I'm a pain in the ass for that. Girls must have low standards because guys are always shocked when I want respect. If you want the pleasure of my company, plan a date. It doesn't have to be fancy, but damn, come up with something. Guys are always so fucking lazy. No wonder they don't have girlfriends.
Ah, now she's resorting to the name calling. You're a douchebag. No wonder girls don't like you. Yeah, when women start saying things like this, they know the end is near. They always know the end is near. Anyway, it's not women that have horribly low standards. It's that your standards are too high for your sexual market value, Miss Blue. Men are shocked when you want to give them, or when you want them to give you respectful treatment because you're 36 past the wall and you don't act like a lady. Here's another thing that women of all ages are grossly unaware of. You have to earn respectful treatment from men who are worth a damn. You don't just get to show up and get treated like a lady because you're a female. Now, back in the day, this was the standard because just about every female was worthy of respectful treatment. Why? Because they were respectful. They didn't wear pajamas in public. They didn't give it up to anything with a Y chromosome and a smile. They said, please. They said, thank you. They smiled. They were pleasant. But women these days are the polar opposite. Today's women are the furthest they've ever been in terms of being worthy of respectful treatment from men than they've ever been in human history. So Miss Blue, expecting respectful treatment when she's acted like a neurotic, entitled, and promiscuous up till about, I don't know, maybe 15 minutes before she posted that Reddit post, that's laughable. And newsflash, Miss Blue, your company is not pleasurable unless we're having sex. And even that's probably lackluster. Guys, this is how women think. This is how they think. They think that by simply being present, that you are in debt to them. Well, he owes me respectful treatment and dinner and drinks because my presence alone is worth all of that. Get the hell out of here with that. Are you serious? If I swipe right on a 30-something 304, the only thing I'm planning is the time I schedule my Uber to come and get me after I blow her back out for 6.5 minutes. That's it. I ain't sticking around for chit-chat. I ain't sticking around for none of that. I'm not sticking around for her valuable company, and neither is anyone else. Oh, and the reason guys like us don't have girlfriends, Miss Blue, is because none of these 304s out here are worth committing to. And they know this and act accordingly, which is to blow your backs out, then bounce like a bad check before you get your bra back on. You know, it's funny. You act like this is the reason they don't have girlfriends, yet you're visibly bothered by the fact that they rejected you. So you're feeling some type of way about being rejected by men who are supposedly losers? Then what's that say about you? What's it say about your choice in men?
Even when I think things are good, I get ghosted. Guys will make me think that they're interested. Why are guys afraid to meet up in person?
This is simply a byproduct of a man with more options than you. That's what this comes down to. He'll swipe right on you because you're decent looking. He expresses excitement to spend time with you and all that. But what he's not telling us, or what she's not telling us, is that two of the main reasons dudes are flaking on her is, number one, she makes it crystal clear that she's not looking to hook up by shutting down any attempt at sexual escalation. Number two, she then demands common courtesy. Guys, this is a woman in her mid-30s, but she's acting like she's in her mid-20s. And this repels men in demand. They're not trying to deal with a woman who has an inflated sense of entitlement and then tries to force them to treat them like a young, pretty girl worthy of courtesy and respect. They're not ghosting because they're afraid to meet up with you, Miss Blue. They're ghosting on you because you're a used 1998 Ford Mustang with 257,000 miles on it with the price tag of a 2021 Mustang Stingray. And dudes ain't paying sticker for a used car, hun. That's not fear, sweetheart. That's called common sense.
I had to delete all the dating apps. I know I'm a catch and a great girlfriend, but all this rejection makes me question my worth. Maybe something's wrong with me. Or maybe guys are intimidated by my ambition. I can't change the fact that they're insecure.
Oh, she's at critical mass here now, guys. She's at critical mass. She, like most post-wall females, blames everyone and everything but herself for her declining sexual market value. Instead of acknowledging that she is older and less attractive, she blames the deterioration of the dating market, like she did earlier. Instead of realizing she's not worth the trouble anymore, like she said earlier, she blames other women for having low standards and being too accommodating. I think she said accommodating robot, which means actually acting like you like the guy, God forbid. Instead of understanding that her company outside of bedroom fun isn't really worth dealing with, she blames men's laziness, and cites that as the reason they don't have girlfriends. And then she says men are afraid to meet up with her instead of coming to the realization that dudes have better options than her available to them. So now here she is, blaming men once again for her own deficiencies. She's just too intimidating and ambitious for men. They're so insecure. You know, the funny thing is she almost kept it real with herself when she said she's starting to think there's something wrong with her. But then she immediately reverses skate and goes right back to the insults, blaming men for not choosing to be with her. If she were such a wonderful woman and a great girlfriend, guess what? She'd be with someone. I'm a great catch. Guess what? You know what catches do? They get caught and not thrown back. But she isn't, so she's not. And in order to sleep at night, she has to tell herself and others there's nothing wrong with her, but something wrong with men. Guys, this is the typical rhetoric of females who are getting left behind for younger, tighter, kinder, more feminine versions of themselves. All right. Let us hit the chat here. Big thanks goes out to Benny B with the $50 super chat. Man, I hope that, I was hoping that you would send us a message, man. I was hoping you'd send us a message, man. Okay, all right. Well, I appreciate that, Benny B, with the $50 super chat. Appreciate that. Lorenzo Rock says she stood too long at the blackjack table. She should have cashed in her chips earlier. Real talk. I'm trying to tell you, man. I'm trying to tell you. Cold Steel says she's requiring commitment now that she's older and less attractive. Listen, this is how these things go. This is how these things work, man. This is how these things go. Cold Steel says, I think the best kind of date is a sporting activity such as jogging or a bike ride. Listen, that's a good kind of date with a girl you're already fucking. Right? Like Devin and I, listen, dude, we actually went out for a bike. Listen, I'm all about the activities and all that fun stuff. When you're already sleeping, but dude, a first date, like if you watch The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, anytime there's somebody in the chat who always talks about, listen, man, anytime there's a fun date, somebody's getting eliminated. No, man, a first date has to be a date where I can escalate. Straight up, drinks, coffee, cooking at my place. Yeah, you cook for me. Yeah, that's a good kind of date, but only if we're already banging. That's the way I see it. That's the way I see it. Good stuff. Good stuff. 947 people watching. We are well over 50% engagement. We're up to 11 dislikes. I thought that the dislikes would go up substantially. It's always funny when I stop the show for likes. Dudes drop out. Screw you, Donovan. Okay, cool. Whatever. Red Pill Mike says, sup, fellas, late to the show. Looks like we have the lovely and talented Michaela on the screen. Yeah, she can get it. Yeah, she's a pretty girl. She looks like she's a poor man's Tatiana. The Ukrainian girl that completely played me like a fiddle. Yeah, dude, even she has the sky blue eyes just like Tatiana. Yeah, maybe that's the reason I hired her. But yeah, but dude, Tatiana, listen, don't get me wrong. She's pretty. Tatiana was hotter. She was hotter. Beautiful. Oh my God, dude, she was fucking beautiful. God damn. Woo. Man, she ran the gambit on your boy. She ran the gambit on your boy. I didn't even date her. See, I thought I was dating her. I wasn't dating her. I was the side dude. I thought I was the boyfriend the whole time. Nope. I was the side dude. Rocksteady says, we have women like her out here in Texas, but a whole lot younger. Good stuff. Nixon Talks says the older they get, the hotter they ain't. Right? You know how that is. Let us continue with the breakdown.
I like who I am, but it seems like most guys don't. I'm sick of guys who do one thing and then say another. 1 minute, I'm awesome, and then the next is, oh, you deserve better. Like, what is that? Just be honest and stop with the lame cop-outs already.
This is the classic case of a woman who is on her best behavior, right? That's what she just described. Like all women, she's cool and genuine and interesting. Of course she is. She's putting on a facade. She's putting on a front, a mask. But because men don't like what they see behind the mask, when she starts to show her true colors, she gets butthurt that they don't stick around. A woman can fake the funk for only so long. Eventually, she is going to show him who she really is. And if she's dealing with a man with options, he's not going to stick around to deal with her nonsense, guys. Listen, ladies, if you're watching, you can get mad. You can get mad all you want to when you look and sound like a Ferrari for the first few weeks, then moan and groan when he takes you back to the dealership after he opens the hood and sees the engine of a Toyota Camry. You cannot expect men to stay with you if you pull a bait and switch. Then she talks about lame cop-outs. Because surely she's never used a lame cop-out. I need to find myself. I need some me time. I'm not being true to myself. This, again, is a woman who gets mad that dudes are running the same gambit on her that she used to run on men. Like I said, guys, women love the game when they win, but they hate it when men play it better than they do.
I try not to take it personally, but it's hard, you know? I try to remember since it's online, guys don't treat me like a real person. It's easy to swipe left or flake out. But when it happens over and over, it starts to fuck with your head. That's why I've decided to just try not date anymore.
Try not dating anymore. How about, here's a thought, Blue. How about you take the advice that I gave you a little earlier? How about you do the hard thing by getting offline, becoming more pleasant, acting more feminine, dressing like a lady, and becoming approachable so that men of value will find you out in the real world. This way, if they approach you and strike up conversation, it means they might actually like you. And when he asks you for your phone number and not your IG or Tinder or OnlyFans, guess what? He's not likely to flake or ghost on you because he's got skin in the game. He's invested. What's that you say? Too much trouble? You don't have time? Guys aren't worth the trouble? My mistake. Blue here is experiencing what all women experience at some point. And this is realizing that she has to work for something she's used to getting for free. In her 20s, all she had to be was there. And dudes were lining up to be with her. Okay, but now that she's not young and pretty anymore, she finds herself having to earn what was given to her with zero effort involved on her part. And because we know women like Miss Blue never do what's not easy, she's decided she's better off to just not try to date at all. That doesn't surprise me one bit.
It makes me feel invisible to be passed over so much. Truthfully, I don't know how to talk to men anymore. I'm so afraid to get rejected if I say the wrong thing. It seems easier to just ignore guys altogether. The problem is when I do this, nobody's trying. Guys aren't trying to win me over. It makes me feel like the most unappealing woman alive.
No. See, the reason you think you don't know how to talk to men anymore, Blue, is because you've never had to. He showed all the interest. He carried the conversation. He did all the work, and you simply decided whether or not you'd sleep with him. You used to have the luxury of sitting back and waiting for a guy to win you over, but you don't have that anymore. The reason no one is trying is because you are an unappealing woman, at least not as appealing as you used to be. I mean, I doubt she used to look like the lovely and talented Michaela, but one never knows. And I love her sad attempt at fishing for compliments. I should have actually screen cap the comments, right? I feel like the most unappealing woman alive. You should have seen dudes all in the comments. Oh, Blue, that's not the case. You are. I don't know what you look like, but I'm sure you're still attractive. Give me a break. That is not about to be me, and it better not be about to be anyone watching. Funk that. Guys, seriously, quit gassing up these post-wall bitches, man. Like, they've made their bed, and now they gotta lay in it alone. Straight up.
It makes me feel invisible to be passed over so much. Truthfully, I don't know how to...
That's the wrong one. Here we go.
I honestly feel like I'm going insane. It's hard to stay confident when you're getting rejected so much. Common courtesy and respect isn't too much to ask, right? But the voice in my head whispers, what if you're crazy? What if you're the problem? I have to tell it to shut up or else I'll lose my mind.
Now she's keeping it 100. Now she's keeping it 100. Now she's starting to acknowledge that she's the common denominator in her declining SMV. Those whispers in her head that ask her if she's crazy and that if she's the real problem, she knows the answers to both of those questions. And the fact that she has to tell it to shut up tells us that she knows she is crazy. She knows she is the problem. But so she can sleep at night, like most women her age, she has to lie to herself. And when they are no longer able to lie to themselves, they call their doctors and tell them, I don't know what's wrong with me. And they get prescribed Lexapro to keep them from attempting ending themselves during the day, clonazepam to calm her anxiety down about the fact that most meaningful relationships she'll have moving forward, probably going to be with her cats and her favorite box of wine, and Ambien to knock her out at night so she didn't have to listen to the voices in the back of her head that are telling her the truth about herself. Again, the fact that she has to tamp these voices down lets us all know that she sees the writing on the wall.
I love my life, but being dismissed by guys is a drag. It's just easier to ignore dudes and focus on my awesome life. I'm happy, except for when it comes to love. I want romance, but I don't really need it. It's really tough to keep reminding myself how good I have it, especially when guys are constantly blowing me off.
Listen how she goes back and forth on admitting that she needs a man to be happy, right? She doesn't want to admit it, so she does her level best to save face, but then she keeps letting it slip that she's unhappy without a man. First it's, my life is awesome. Then it's, I'm very happy except when it comes to love. Then she's like, I have a great life, but men blowing me off makes it tough for me to remind myself that my life is awesome. Gentlemen, this right here, this is the quintessential example of a woman who is trying to act like a man but can't because she is a woman. Men don't need women to be happy. Yes, they do elevate our lives as they often do, as we talked about on the 7 this past Sunday. But they are far from necessary for us to be truly happy. For us as men, women are a luxury and not a necessity. Steve the Dean says this all the time. Women are not a necessity. They are a perk. Females would love to think they're the same way, but they're not. You see, as far as women are concerned, men are a necessity, not a luxury. They can tell themselves and others, well, I don't need a man, but I want one, right? A man who needs a woman is weak. A woman who completes a man isn't a man. He is a male who needs a female. That's why men understand that we must be self-sufficient in every way in order to be complete men, which means not needing women to be happy. Women are exactly the opposite. But because they keep trying to be men, they keep ending up miserable. Ladies, if you're watching, if you haven't heard anything I've said tonight, and I'm pleading with you to understand this, needing a man doesn't make you weak. It makes you a woman. And there's nothing wrong with being a woman unless you're trying to be a man. Dude, Blue is clearly distraught about the fact that the men she wants don't want her anymore. If you're so content without men, then why does your title say, why are you asking why you're getting blown off? If you don't need a man, why did you write a 1,000-word Reddit post asking why you're getting blown off? I'll tell you why. Because the true value of a woman is determined by the man you can attract and subsequently lock down. The world doesn't care about your accomplishments as a single woman. Yes, the world blows smoke up your arse and tells you guys how great and wonderful you are, but no matter what the world says, the world knows the truth. And the true measure of a woman is a woman who gets married to a man of value, has his children, and is a good mother and wife. When you're young, your value is determined by your youth and beauty. But your youth and beauty don't mean a damn thing if you use it to sport fuck your way through your 20s, have 3 Noit Robas spelled backwards because you pretend to be allergic to latex and lambskin. And you know it. This is why women like her write Reddit posts like this. So, Blue, seriously, spare me with the I don't want a man, but I don't need one. Or I want a man, but I don't need one rhetoric. Spare me with that. Because the fact that you even wrote this post indicates clearly that is quite the opposite. Ladies, seriously, enough with this facade. Just be honest with yourself and just admit that you need a man and act accordingly. My thanks to the lovely and talented Michaela for accurately portraying Miss Blue's Reddit post. All right, let's go to the chat here. Adric Perez says, tuition, bro. Appreciate that. Lord Sinister 707, $10, says, woman, no one owes you a relationship. The only reason she gets treated like this is because you allowed it. If you treat men the way you want, men will treat you the same. Revolutionary, huh? Funny how that works, right? Funny how that works, right? Red Pill Mike with the $20 super chat says, women talk in circles because the closer they come to the truth, the reality of it becomes too much for them to accept. So they hamster wheel the logic into an illogical state, allowing them to sidestep accountability. Man, straight facts. It's funny, like we saw that, dude. I should have screen capped the whole thing, man. But it was, oh my God, dude, no way. No way. Not about to do that. Let me check the chat. Nick B23 says, is this blonde girl an actress recapping the post? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, the lovely and talented Michaela is 20. She just turned 21, I think. Corvette Stingray, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Nick B23 says, I love it when girls say they don't want a quote. He says, I love it when girls say that guys don't want a challenge. That's correct, bitch. We got enough challenges already. We want a girl to shut up and cook. Nick B's right at home. He's right at home. Dre Raven responds, or they counter, do you want a woman that challenges you? No, I really don't. Check this out. When a woman says, ask you, don't you want a woman who challenges you? Don't you want a woman who challenges you? What she's really saying is, don't you want a woman who acts like a bitch? That's what this is. That's what this is. Oh, guys, you don't want a challenging woman. No, we don't want women. We got to tell to shut the hell up every 5 minutes. I'm a challenge. No, you're not a challenge. You're neurotic and you're bitchy. Get out of here with that. I don't want to hear that. You know, it's interesting. It's interesting. My brother, not my kid brother, my middle brother with an M. So there's me. I'm the oldest. I'm 43. My middle brother just turned, wow, he just turned 41. Wow. He just turned 41. Damn. And then there's my youngest brother who just turned 38. So we're all around the same age. So my middle brother, I don't know how many years ago, was kind of on and off seeing 2 women. And he adored them both. He loved them both. He really, really did. And one of the girls he was dating was very kind, very feminine, very, very demure, right? And she was pretty. She was, she was decent looking, probably a 6.5. He was dating that girl, and then he was dating another girl. This girl was an 8.5. Dude, absolute smoke show. Absolute smoke show. Dude, honestly, one of the best looking black girls I've ever seen in real life. Like, whoo. She was outgoing, had a personality. She would, kind of a ball buster. My mother loved her. My mother loved this girl. Didn't necessarily like the kind, feminine, demure one who wasn't quite. Listen, she was pretty enough, right? But she wasn't the other chick. So my brother, at some point, he said, look, man, like, I got to make a choice. I can't keep going back and forth between these two girls. And so he, you would think, foolishly asks my mother for her advice. He asks my mother for her advice. He's like, Mama Sharpe, look, man, like, time isn't wasting. I'm not getting any younger. And my brother really, really wanted to have kids. Like, he really, and he's a fantastic father. It's just, I'm very proud of him. Like, he's a God almighty. Like, he was a goofy kid. He used to beat up all the time as kids, and now he's this man with a family. It's the weirdest thing. Dude, we used to anyway. And so my mother told him, she said, the choice is easy. You need to go for the girl who challenges you. You need to marry Sydney. That was her name. Her name was Sydney. You need to marry Sydney. Sydney, she's young. Dude, and I think the other girl, and I know her name, but I'm not going to put it out on the internet because he's actually, The other girl was, I think she was 2 or 3 years older than Sydney. Not quite as good looking, but attractive nonetheless. Sydney was hot. This other girl was just pretty, right? My mom loved Sydney. Beautiful girl, outgoing, the life of the party, right? She said, I got to make up a name for my brother. She said, I can't even think of a name right now. She said, middle brother, you need to marry Sydney. With Sydney, she's going to be unpredictable. She's going to be challenging. She's going to enrich your life. She's going to enrich your life. The very next day, my middle brother dumped Sydney and married the woman that he has been married to now for 12 years and have 2 kids. To this day, I have no idea. How he had the foresight. I don't know what happened. I don't know how he knew to ignore my mother's advice and make the right choice. Because let's be clear, Sydney would have absolutely turned his life upside down. No question about it. She was young, dude. She was energetic. She was pretty. She was the life of the party. Everybody liked her. Raised by single mother. Her older sister had 2 kids by 2 different men. Raised by her single mother and her aunt, if I'm not mistaken. Her older sister had 2 kids by 2 different men. I think her younger sister ended up going to jail for some drug charge or whatever. Chaotic lifestyle, chaotic family. The other girl's family, both of their parents are professors at a university. Rock steady, rock solid, stable family foundation. Her parents paid for their wedding. Their marriage is not without its challenges, right? They're married. They've been married for 12 years or whatever. They have two kids. I think they've been married for 12 years. They have 2 kids. They just, dude, their youngest daughter, she is just, oh my God, I just want to squeeze her little face. She is the cutest little thing. She's the cutest little thing I've ever seen. But my brother having the wisdom at such a relatively young age to understand that even though my mother wanted what was best for him, he recognized she wanted what was best for her. She wanted what was best for her. She liked Sydney more than she liked his wife. Now, of course, listen, my mom loves, his wife and everything, and they get along great. But and it's funny. At the time when he made the decision, I was confused because for me, he asked me, dude, I think he called me like 2 weeks before because he was really confused. He's like, yo, who do I pick? Mary Sydney, you idiot. Look at her, I used to tell him. Look at her. Same deal, same difference. Mary Sydney. Mom tells him Mary Sydney. The very next day he goes and marries his wife. Unbelievable. And now my middle brother knows who I am and knows what I do. And we're sitting at breakfast the day I flew back here. I went down to North Carolina. I went down to North Carolina to visit him and his family for Christmas, and everybody was there, except for my dad, of course. And it was me and it's me and my two brothers, and I remember my middle brother and I remember that conversation that we had. It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. It was absolutely crazy, man. And we just kind of looked at each other and laughed. I said, "You got to be kidding me." I said, "Listen, dude, I am so sorry. I told you the wrong choice, man." I said, "My bad. I didn't know. So, all right, let's go back and check the super chats here. Sheldon Ross says, "I wonder if the next generation of women are going to catch on and adapt accordingly." No, I don't think so. I think the culture is way too ingrained and invested in womanism, man. Listen, I agree with Coach Greg Adams, man. He said it on the 7 this past Sunday. It's gonna have to all burn down for it to rise back up. It's got to get worse. It's gonna get worse before it gets better. It's gonna get worse before it gets better, guys. That's just how it is. I mean, I wish the next Generation Z, I don't know what they're gonna call after Generation Z, but dude, holy moly. The Protector says, "With all respect, I've asked my mother for advice so I could reinforce what I know and do the opposite. I think your brother did the same thing." Listen, I was happy for him. I didn't say, "How could you?" I was like, that's weird. I wanted to marry Sydney. Mom wanted him to marry Sydney. Why did he marry the other woman? Why did he marry her? Well, turns out he made the right choice. Oh my God. The Black Lemur 2009 with another $500 super chat. Dude. Says, don't you want a woman who acts like a bleep? That had my side hurting. Okay, Black Lemur, seriously, dude. Email me, tsr@donovansharpe.com. I'm going to give you Womanese, the whole Womanese series. I'm going to give you How to Master the Game, the video version. Shit, man, what else can I get? I'm going to give you How to Build a Quad. Dude, I'll give you my entire catalog of courses. Holy God. Dude, back-to-back nights of $500 super chats. Dude, seriously, email me. I got to give you something. I got to hook you up for hooking your boy up. Holy moly. Nixon Talk says, "My friend married a woman after 9 months. They divorced in 3, and now she's into Christianity." Oh, my God. Unbelievable. Dude, Black Lemur 2009 is out there with the baller status. Back-to-back nights, $500 super chats. I appreciate that very much. Seriously, listen, you need to email me so I can get these courses to you, man. I would like to show my appreciation of your support of me. It's nothing for me to give you these courses if you're donating like that, man. Nick B23 says they're too committed to feminism at this point. There's no going back. It's going to take this generation of women to hit 40, single, and lonely before they wake up. Yeah, I agree with you, Nick. Unfortunately, it'll be too late. Because women these days are hitting 40, they're single and lonely, still not waking up. Hell, Miss Blue is 4 years from 40. She ain't woke up yet. She's asking, why am I getting ghosted? Why are guys blowing me off? Incredible. Don't forget, guys. Do not forget, Womanese Volume 4. Womanese Volume 4 drops on March 9th. That is 9 short days from today. And if you're thinking, man, that's really quick. Well, remember, February only has 28 days. If it had a regular 31 days, it'd be 12 days, almost 2 weeks away, 9 days away. Womanese Volume 4 drops a week from Friday. I will be in Miami for the launch. I will be in Miami for the launch, so be sure. Get on that waiting list. Text 313, text TSR to 313-313. Text TSR to 313-313. Lord Sinister 707 says, good for your brother. You don't need a challenge at home. You need peace of mind at home. Real talk. Real talk. His wife is so, she's so docile. Devin loves her. She loves her. Iceman23 said, much appreciated material right here. Benny B with another $20 super chat says, I didn't say anything before because after Miss Blue's bit about standards, my eyes rolled themselves so hard they got stuck I couldn't see to type. Oh, my God. Oh, Miss Blue. Miss Blue. Yeah, I can't tell you who this woman is because you guys are going to go and troll her, and that's just not. I don't, listen, man. Dude, Historical Cow is going through enough. Miss Blue is going through enough. There's no need for me to throw another log on the fire. I think that would be counterproductive. And listen, I'm not trying to make anybody's life any harder than it already is, right? It is what it is. It is what it is. Listen, guys, fantastic broadcast, man. Fantastic broadcast. It looks like I still have the green dollar sign. We are on a green dollar sign streak. Let me go back and thank all of my super chatters by name. I'm gonna try to do this. I wish there was some way. I wish that there was a way that I could somehow. I don't know. I think I could probably pull that off. I could probably maybe some sort of mid-show production where I could scroll the names of the super chatters. This is the way I always think. I'm always thinking of a way to improve my show and really show you guys my appreciation. I'm going to figure out a way to do that. I think that'd be a great idea. Okay, from backwards to forwards. Benny B, Iceman, Lord Sinister, Black Lemur 2009. Holy shit. $500 again. The Protector, Sheldon Ross, Lord Sinister, Adric Perez, Gregory McGrath, Thrill Seeker, the Goddamn Bacon. Thank you all for your contributions. Mr. Ed, thank you for becoming a part of the chat privilege. Flashback GT says, as Patrice O'Neill said, you are a dude. Real talk. Of course I'm a dude. And you know this, man. Great show tonight, guys. Thank you very, very much for tuning in. Thank you to all of my super chatters. I'm going to go and get a little bit drunk and have sex for 23 seconds. We'll see you tomorrow, guys. Thanks for watching. Get thousands of hours of content not found anywhere on patreon.com/Donovan Sharpe. Link in description.